The year is 1162. On the vast, windswept plains of Mongolia, a future emperor is born. His name is Temujin, but the world will come to know him as Genghis Khan, the oceanic ruler. His early life is harsh, marked by the brutal realities of tribal life. He witnesses betrayal, fights for survival, and endures hardship that would break a lesser man. Yet these experiences forge within him an unyielding will and a vision for a united Mongol people. Temujin rises to power through cunning and charisma. He unites the often warring Mongol tribes, ending centuries of internal conflict. With each victory his legend grows, drawing warriors to his banner. He instills in them a fierce loyalty and a shared ambition to conquer a world that had long underestimated the nomadic tribes of the steppe. The stage is set for one of history's most remarkable chapters. Temujin's early life was a brutal education in survival. At the age of 9, he witnesses his father poisoned by a rival tribe, leaving his family vulnerable and ostracized. He experiences firsthand the treachery of his enemies and the fickleness of tribal alliances. Teenage years are spent fighting off attacks, scavenging for food, and even enduring a period of enslavement. Through these trials, Temujin develops a keen intellect and a deep understanding of human nature. He learns the importance of loyalty, discipline, and strategic thinking. He begins to forge alliances, not through blood ties, but through mutual respect and shared goals. By his early 20s, Temujin begins to unite the Mongol tribes, proving himself a capable leader and a formidable warrior. This unity lays the foundation for the largest contiguous land empire in history. The Mongols, under Genghis Khan's leadership, unleashed a military revolution upon the world. Gone were the days of cumbersome armies and predictable sieges. The Mongol army was a fluid, fast-moving force, largely composed of light cavalry archers. Their mastery of horsemanship was unparalleled, allowing them to cover vast distances and strike with lightning speed. They were masters of deception, employing feigned retreats and surprise attacks to devastating effect. The Mongols were also early adopters of gunpowder weaponry, using it to break down fortifications with terrifying efficiency. But their most potent weapon was arguably psychological. They cultivated a reputation for ruthlessness, spreading tales of their brutality far and wide. This psychological warfare sowed terror in the hearts of their enemies, often leading to surrender before a single arrow was fired. This potent combination of speed, skill, and psychological warfare made the Mongol army virtually unstoppable. Driven by ambition and a thirst for new pastures, Genghis Khan led his armies on an unprecedented campaign of conquest. From the steppes of Mongolia, they swept across Asia like a whirlwind. They conquered the powerful Khwarezmian Empire in Central Asia, a conflict marked by legendary sieges and the fall of mighty cities like Samarkand and Bukhara. They pushed eastward, conquering the Jin dynasty of northern China and incorporating their advanced siege warfare into the Mongol arsenal. Genghis Khan's armies even reached Europe, clashing with the Rus's principalities in a series of decisive battles. The Mongol conquest was swift and brutal, leaving behind a trail of fallen empires and redrawn borders. By the time of Genghis Khan's death in 1227, his empire stretched from the Pacific Ocean to the Caspian Sea, encompassing a vast swath of the known world. The Mongol conquests, while awe-inspiring in their scope and speed, came at a terrible cost. Genghis Khan's wars resulted in the deaths of an estimated 40 million people, a staggering figure that represents a significant portion of the world's population at the time. Cities were razed to the ground, their populations put to the sword or driven into slavery. Entire populations were wiped out, their cultures and histories lost forever. The destruction wrought by the Mongols left a permanent mark on the Eurasian landscape. The irrigation systems of Persia and Central Asia, vital for agriculture, were destroyed, leading to widespread famine and depopulation. The Silk Road, the lifeline of trade between East and West, was disrupted for years. While Genghis Khan's empire ultimately fostered cultural exchange and trade, these benefits came at a heavy price, paid for in the blood of millions. The Law of the Yasa, a code for conquerors. To govern his vast and diverse empire, Genghis Khan established a comprehensive legal code known as the Yasa. This oral code, a blend of Mongol customs and pragmatic rulings, served as the law of the land throughout the empire. The Yasa emphasized loyalty, obedience, and accountability. It promoted meritocracy over nepotism, ensuring that positions of power were filled by those most capable, regardless of their social standing or ethnicity. The Yasa also addressed a wide range of social and economic issues. It established a system of relay stations and messengers, ensuring swift communication across the vast distances of the empire. It promoted trade by guaranteeing the safety of merchants and envoys traveling through Mongol territories. While harsh punishments were meted out for crimes like theft and adultery, the Yasa also contained surprisingly progressive elements for its time, including the prohibition of the enslavement of fellow Mongols and the protection of certain classes of people, such as ambassadors and envoys. Faith in the empire, Genghis Khan's religious tolerance. One of the more surprising aspects of Genghis Khan's rule was his policy of religious tolerance. In a time when religious persecution was commonplace, Genghis Khan allowed freedom of worship throughout his empire. He believed that all religions were equal in the eyes of the eternal blue sky, the supreme deity recognized by the Mongols. This tolerance stemmed from both pragmatism and principle. By allowing conquered people to practice their faiths freely, Genghis Khan avoided religious unrest and fostered a sense of unity within his diverse empire. Genghis Khan invited religious leaders from various faiths to his court, engaging in theological discussions and seeking wisdom from different spiritual traditions. He exempted religious institutions from taxation and military service, recognizing their importance in the lives of his subjects. This policy of tolerance was remarkable for its time, and contributed to the flourishing of cultural and intellectual exchange within the Mongol Empire. The eternal blue sky, death and deification of the Khan. In 1227, at the age of 65, Genghis Khan died. The exact cause of his death remains a mystery, shrouded in legend and speculation. Some accounts claim he died from injuries sustained in a hunting accident, while others suggest illness or even assassination. Regardless of the cause, his death plunged the empire into mourning. His loyal followers, overcome with grief, carried his body back to Mongolia, keeping the location of his burial a closely guarded secret. Upon his death, Genghis Khan was elevated to the status of a deity by the Mongols. He was no longer just a ruler, he was the embodiment of the eternal blue sky, the supreme god of the Mongols. This deification solidified his legacy, ensuring that his name would be forever revered by his people. Temples were erected in his honor, and his descendants, the great Khans, would continue to rule over the largest contiguous land empire in history for generations to come. The undiscovered tomb, an enduring enigma. The location of Genghis Khan's tomb remains one of history's most enduring mysteries. According to legend, his funeral procession was sworn to secrecy, and anyone who crossed their path was killed to prevent the location of his burial from being revealed. Some historians believe he was buried somewhere in the Khenti Mountains of Mongolia, a region sacred to the Mongols. Others speculate that his tomb lies beneath a lake or is hidden within a remote valley, protected by natural barriers and ancient curses. Despite numerous expeditions and the use of modern technology, Genghis Khan's tomb has never been found. Some believe that it should remain undisturbed, a testament to the great Khan's enduring mystique. Others argue that its discovery could unlock valuable insights into Mongol culture and history. The search for Genghis Khan's tomb continues, a testament to the enduring fascination with this legendary conqueror who shaped the course of history.